going to show you how I'm making holes in this foam. And we've been practicing here, so I've only made 3. But here you can see the idea is that we have this JZBZ cup. And you know, it would have a cell on there that was capped, and you just take it and put it here. You can take this out into the apiary and the cooler and just load it up one at a time. Boom, boom, boom. And this would just keep it nice and snug in there. And you know, you'd be careful not to jostle it or do anything weird. And then you can buy a foam, 1/2-inch foam bit that will cut these perfect holes. I've seen copper pipe used where it's pounded to make these holes. What I found is I just happen to have this piece of metal, and it's not perfect for this, but it's perfect enough for what I need. So it's got a little burr here, it's wrapped, it's not smooth, but it's really thin, so kind of sharp. So as long as I rotate the drill in the correct direction here, it's not going to catch on this foam and tear it apart. So so this is what I've been using here, and I set a depth of 2 1/8 inch on here. And if you keep the drill running while you pull it out, you'll actually get these nice little foam cores. If you stop, I found out you're going to have some foam jammed down in the bottom of these holes that you don't want. So I'm going to have to take some pliers and pull some of that out. The other thing you want to do is make sure you don't go all the way through your 3 inches, because you know, if that queen does emerge, you want her kind of trapped in here down below. And but we'll do our timing right and all that. We'll be checking on a regular basis to make sure that we don't have too many trapped queens, but it could happen. So we're gonna do this bigger sheet here. Basically the idea is that like maybe we gather these up out in the apiary, and we're gonna have a couple layers of these. We would have this as the second layer. We could transfer onto this right into the incubator, and we'd be good to go. So I'm going to finish this out. I'm going to go ahead and use a marker and mark little dots on here where I'm going to cut, just to make it nice and even. And then we'll start working on these that are working the small little cooler here for, you know, when we're doing less out in the apiary. So that's the process we're going to go through here. Stay tuned, we'll show you how it goes. Alright, let me show you how we use the drill to go ahead and punch these holes through. So here, we'll start with this one. I pre-marked these basically from the edge of one hole to the middle of the next. It's 1 inch. So that basically creates, I think, a 3/4 gap between each of these. You probably could do it a little tighter if you wanted to, really, but I think that'll be fine for now. And you notice the drill is moving so that that little kind of burr edge is flowing. So the idea here, I think, is to get a good fast RPM rate so that it kind of almost like burns its way or heats its way through the foam. But let's just go ahead and run it. And I can just kind of feel it. I'm going real slow here. As I go down, I can kind of feel it. And then with the bottom, I'm just going to pull it up. And it looks like if we can just grab this little, there we go, there's our core. And if you look in there, see that? Perfect. Camera off and finish this up, but I just want to show you what these bore holes are looking like. So I do notice on a few of these, like this is a good example, it's a little bit of an angle. I want to make sure that if a queen does come out, she doesn't get trapped and can't get out. So I've had that happen where kind of the bottom of the cell was blocked and she couldn't actually get out, and that was a problem. So I want to make sure these are clear all the way to the base bottom of the actual hole. So we'll go through and clean all these out once we're done. Alright, we had a little surprise event today. We went out to check the grafts. They're not supposed to be capped based on the chart for 2 more days. And we look in there and we had over 20 that were capped. So out of an abundance of caution, we decided to go pull about the half that were capped. And they were mostly clustered on 2 of the frames, so we have a few other frames, but yeah, so, and we're using this new foam method, so we're getting away from the roller cages. We just punched 1/2-inch holes in 3-inch foam. Those holes go down about 2.5 inches, and we just lay the cells right in there. So let me see if I can show you one real quick. I don't want to disturb these too much, but so there you go. So right in they go. And now they're in incubation mode, and we'll add the others when they are capped. Again, we just don't want one of these girls to emerge and kill all her sisters after all this hard grafting work. So let me close this up. So we just got this thing rolling again. We got to get the humidity up a bit. It should be running about 55 right now. We just opened it, so it went down. And then we're going to keep this, I've heard between 93 and 95, so we're just going to split the difference and do 94 degrees. And then we got some additional thermometers that I'm going to throw on both sides just to check the temp. And those are actually Bluetooth, so we don't actually have to open this to check temp. So I'm going to let it heat back up, let the humidity stabilize, and then we'll put the thermometers in and we'll be done. But yeah, that's great news. So there's 27 in there, and again, we'll probably, I don't know, 20, 25 more to go. So if 75% of those, you know, make it back from mating flights and whatnot, and they're all viable, we'll have a whole nother round of queens coming. Awesome. Super excited. It's working.